Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Now, this is an interesting question. I was talking about this the other day, I believe. I'm trying to see who I was talking to, but who would you have run your team? If I had four random guys on the court and I needed to win a game or take them during the regular season to get to the playoffs or even come close, who would be the better floor general? If it's a game and everything, we're finna play this game. It's four random people. You have a choice between Jason Kidd and John Stockton. Now people are gonna be like, Jason Kidd and John Stockton? That's no comparison. Why not? Why isn't it a comparison? John Stockton played in 1,504 games, averaged 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 11 assists. From the field, he was 52%. From the three, he was 38. Free throw was 83%. Now, his best seasons, you basically had him with 14 assists, and he was averaging like 14 assists from the 87-88 season all the way to the 91 and 92 season, because remember, he came in the same draft class as Jordan. And then after that, he was averaging about 12 or 13 assists a game. And then when he fell off, he still was averaging about 11 and then 9 and then 8, then 9. He was in some of the early 2000s. But he played 82 games, which is amazing. Durability is out of this world. He had 16 seasons of 82 games he played. That is amazing. That just shows you how durable John Stockton was. Now, I'm not taking none away from Stockton. He was a 10-time All-Star Hall of Famer, 2-time steals champ, 5-time All-Defensive Player, 9-time assist champ, 11-time All NBA, and he was in the running in 92-93 up for the MVP candidate. Now, Jason Kidd is a 5-time assist champ, 6-time All NBA, an NBA champion from that Mavericks team who beat Heat, 10-time All-Star, said 9-time All-Defensive Team. He was voted 94-95 Rookie of the Year, and he made the All-Rookie Team 94-95, where John Stockton did not. And his averages, he played in 1,391 games, which was less than Stockton. He averaged 13 points, about the same as Stockton, and more rebounds because he was about 6'4", and that was 6 total rebounds. Assist, he averaged 9, which is less than Stockton's 11. Percentage wise, he was at 40% from the field, and 35% from the three, and a 79% free throw shooter. So Stockton was a better free throw shooter, And 3-pointer, he was better. Jason Kidd really didn't develop a shot till later in his career. And then from the field, he was 40%. Um, some of his best seasons assisting was about 11 was the highest, or 10. He was averaging about 9 or 10. 98 to 99 and 99 to 2000 he was averaging he averaged 11, then 10, and then he averaged 10 assists in 2000 to 2001, plus 2001 2002, and he averaged 9 from 2002 and '03 to 2003 and '04, and he averaged 10 assists later as well in his career. For Dallas, he was averaging around 9 and then 6 boards. Had real low turnovers. His turnovers, he probably was averaging for a career 3. Stockton on his turnovers, Stockton averaged about 3. So they're basically not too far off of one another. Even though I think Jason Kidd was the better defender, I believe Kidd was the better defender. Stockton was the better, how can I say it? He was the better shooter and he was the better scorer, I believe. Or no, I would give Kidd probably scoring. Yeah, Kidd was the better scorer and Stockton was the better shooter, because Stockton, for some of his best seasons scoring wise, he averaged 17 points. Jason Kidd was averaging some of his best, I say, was about the same, 17. The highest he got was 19, and then 17, and then he had some 12s. Stockton was, to me, probably the better scorer and better shooter than Jason Kidd, which he was, because Stockton averaged consistently more than like 12 or 13 points. He was always within 15 points or like 17. So I believe he was the better scorer and the better shooter. Durability, of course, will give it to Stockton. Um, Stockton played, like I said, he played in a bunch of 82 games. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Played in 1682 games. Um, Jason Kidd, I believe, he only played 2 seasons of 82 games. So Stockton was more durable. But scoring and shooting, we give it to Stockton. As far as defensive purposes, I would go with Jason Kidd, because Jason Kidd I could put on the ones and the twos. I could put him on those guys and he would shut them down effectively. Stockton was strictly a point guard. I would not try to match him up on a 2 guard, even though he could hold his own. He still would get scored on, but he would be a tough guy for a tall guy, because he could reach in, get the ball from him. When he puts it on the floor, he can attack. So to me, I would give it to Jason Kidd as the better defender in this case, because of his length. He's taller. Now, athletically, Jason Kidd, I believe, was more athletic than Stockton. Stockton was just all skill and fundamentals. So that helped him be better in certain games than Gary Payton. Gary Payton even said out his own mouth that John Stockton was the toughest guy he ever had to defend or go against. He said Stockton was feisty, and he'll give it to you. Now, Jason Kidd, everybody remember Kidd as the triple double king. The triple double king, the guy who could take anybody anywhere, and he slacked on his free throws. Stockton in the free throw situation, he's gonna make those. Kidd was a little below. I mean, he was average. He was like at 79%. He was, he was a tough guy. Jason Kidd was a tough guy. Now teammates, John Stockton, in my opinion, had the better teams for his career than Jason Kidd. That's just to me. Now Jason Kidd has some players, but I say that next team, that was probably Jason Kidd's best team, like overall, because you had VC, you had Richard Jefferson, you had Kerry Kittles. I know y'all remember Kerry Kittles. That little sniper was hitting all them shots coming off picks. And Collins, one of the Collins brothers. Um, Kenyon Martin, I see. Kenyon Martin was on that team. So kids had teams, and then that Mavericks team he had with Jason Terry, Dirk, and they had, I think they had Deshaun Stevenson on there too, because he was giving LeBron fits. Sean Marion was on that team. Tyson Chandler was locking up the middle. So Jason Kidd, as an overall, he's never played with a team like, you had Stockton, you had Hornacek, you had Russell, you had Ostertag in the middle, you had Antoine Carr, you had Karl Malone, of course. So he's always had a decent team, and then they had Howard Isley coming off the bench who was killing. So Utah has always had a good team, a better team to me. Stockton always had a better team than Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd, I could put him on any team, and I believe that they could run it and they could do wonders. He can make the guy at the end of the bench better. So could John Stockton. John Stockton could make the guy at the end of the bench better. Passing wise, John Stockton had more assists, but they were about the same to me passing. I think in transition, Stockton could do it. Kidd could do it. I think Kidd was a little better transition wise and half court set wise. Stockton was great too. He had his own times when he was balling. So this is a tough choice. But if I'm going to put a guy with four random guys and I'm like, yo, just go out there and play, lead the team to this victory, I would go with Jason Kidd. I believe Jason Kidd was the better floor general. I just believe he was. I believe Jason Kidd, his personality and how he ran everything, I believe, he was slightly better. I believe he was the better overall player than Stockton. Now, Stockton was the better shooter and scorer. Like if I need a bucket and everything, but Kidd could score. Kidd could get to the lane, do his little hook shot, do his little floater. He could post you up a little bit. He had impeccable footwork for his size. Now he had some seasons where it was like, he was hurt a lot, but durability, like I said, Stockton. If you choose John Stockton, you would have no argument with me. But I would choose Jason Kidd. I think Jason Kidd, I've seen him with Kenyon Martin, the Jason Terrys, and the Dirk. To me, he made Dirk a little better. I believe when he played with Dirk, he got Dirk in his positions. He got the ball to him in certain positions. Then on the Dream Team, on the Redeem Team, he was one of the leaders and everything. And him, Kobe, helped turn that team around. John Stockton, as great as he is, he had Karl Malone. I'm sorry, Karl Malone to me is in the top five, if not top three, maybe best power forwards we've ever seen play the game. Kids never played with anybody on that level. He's never played with a Karl Malone or a Brian Russell and guys like that. Now he has some good players, like Kerry Kittles was good. He's from that '96, that phenomenal draft. VC was still good at that time. He still was making shots and dunking and doing his thing. Richard Jefferson was a young pup. You had Aaron Williams. You had Jason Collins, whatever one of them Collins guys. And to me, those teams they fought. Those teams would fight a lot to try to win the game. And they did. They got to the championship, but they just couldn't finish or close. And it happens, man. They were going against Shaq and Kobe, then they went against the Spurs. Tim Duncan was eating them up. But Kidd was doing his thing on Parker and Ginobili. And it's just that Spurs team was too deep and Tim Duncan dominated. They didn't have nobody in the post who could deal with Tim Duncan. Kenyon Martin did okay, but he doesn't have the size like girth like Tim Duncan had. But let me know in the comment section, who would you go with? Who would you pick in the playoffs? Oh, what did I do? Yeah. In the playoffs now. All right, in the playoffs, Jason Kidd averaged 13 points per game, 2 steals, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. He was 78% from the free throw line. His field goal percentage was around 39-ish. And his 3-point percentage was at 32. Now, John Stockton, when he got to the playoffs, and like I said, this is tough for me. But I wouldn't be angry if you picked John Stockton. Yeah, in the playoffs, he was 13. He averaged 13 points per game. Around 3 turnovers, just like Kidd. He had 2 steals. Him and Kidd had about 2 steals in the playoffs, averaging assists. He averaged 10, rebounds 3, which is high for a guy his size, which is damn good. Getting you 3. He was 81% from the free throw line. From the 3-pointer, he was 33%. So they was about the same in the playoffs career wise, 33 to Kidd's 32. But Stockton, to me, like I said, was the better shooter. Field goal percentage, Stockton was at 47. So like I said, John Stockton was the better scorer and the better shooter than Jason Kidd. But to me, Jason Kidd had more of a command of the offense, especially in the playoffs. He got the 3 finals and won one. The first 2, he was the head man, and man, he was killing out there. And then he was averaging some highs in the playoffs from assists with 9, 10, and then 13. And then you got Stockton. Stockton averaged a lot too in the playoffs. In his assists, he was averaging like 15, 14, 15. And Stockton was a beast, man. But I would go with Jason Kidd. I believe Jason Kidd could do more with those 4 random guys than John Stockton could. Not saying Stockton couldn't. Stockton would ball out. But I just think Jason Kidd the tempo, he can go fast, he can go slow, he can run the half court set, he could move the ball, he could run around, set picks, and do his thing to get the ball to guys to score, and he could put you in the right position. Didn't matter who he played for. I just think if I had Jason Kidd with Karl Malone his whole career, I believe Jason Kidd would have had the same amount of assists, if not more, than John Stockton. But as far as scoring and shooting, John Stockton was the better player by far and a better free throw shooter. But I believe overall leading my team and getting guys in position, I think Jason Kidd was slightly better. But let me know in the comment section what you think. Would you take John Stockton or would you take Jason Kidd as your floor general? And give me the reason why you would. Be respectable, guys. This is just a little friendly debate, just seeing who's better. And like I said, I believe Jason Kidd transcended the position more. To me, Stockton was just a real great point guard, which is nothing wrong with it. He's top 5 or top 3, one of the best point guards to play the game. And Wilt Chamberlain gave him a shot. Like he said that he would take Stockton over Magic. That's what Wilt said. I mean, I don't know what he was smoking that night, but Wilt Chamberlain basically said that he would take Stockton over Magic, and then he changed up later, but that's who he would pick. Now, let me know again in the comment section who you would have as your floor general, John Stockton or Jason Kidd. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit the notification bell to select all to receive all upcoming content. I'm gonna drop some more today. And if you want to donate to the page, cash at me at the word welcome, the number 2 HDIITV. And thank you for listening, man. We out. Live boy.